I hope so. All right. I think we're live, guys. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for being here. I am Rachel Lack, director of Across the Spectrum, the doc, and I am a documentary filmmaker, and I have been filming my son Henry, who is going to be 14 tomorrow.
Oh, crazy.
Happy birthday. I can't believe it. 14. Oh gosh, you guys are. And we've been filming for 10 years and 11 years actually. And I've been filming all the moms and kids for 10 years. So why don't we start with Gina? You can introduce. How is my internet right now? Am I going in and out?
Like a tiny bit, but it's not.
Okay.
It's not,
okay. Okay. Gina, you start and introduce yourself.
I am Gina Schroeder, and I have 2 kids. I have a daughter who is 18. Her name's Haley. And then my son is Brendan, who is 13, which Rachel has been filming him since, he was probably just 2.5, I guess. I don't even remember, but yeah, if you said
he was just about almost 3. It was right before his 3rd birthday.
Okay, so yeah, and he's, he was diagnosed on the spectrum at 13 months old. So it's been quite the journey.
Nice. All right, Stephanie, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Stephanie Knittle. I am Savannah's mom. She is 12, will be 13 next month. She was diagnosed a little after her 2nd birthday, so she's been part of the original group for a while. And then I'm also the mother of John, formerly known as Johnny, who appears in a lot of prior footage with Savannah because he lived with us and he was like her shadow, but he is currently 10 and in 4th grade, and he was diagnosed on the spectrum 2nd grade, and he's in 4th grade now. So that's been quite interesting, but answered a lot of questions for us. So yeah.
Great. All right. Anything right now we're just kind of chatting and talking about what's been happening. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about tonight? What have the kids been up to the last few months?
Gosh, just like trying to get into, the regular swing of back to school. Brendan recently broke his wrist. If anybody doesn't know Brendan, this is Brendan's 5th bone that he's broken, and we are only 13, so he is that kid. He just got out of the cast this week, so about almost 5 weeks in a cast. So now he's in just like a brace. He did it playing baseball, sliding into second, just kind of like took his wrist and kind of a little fracture right there. So we know the orthopedic doctor very well. He's actually takes it pretty good, I think, because we are kind of used to it, I guess. But he started some physical therapy today, and he was actually pretty shocked with, like, he had actually some good movement. Like, it's always scary when you first go to move, from an injury. But so baseball, I'm not sure he'll be able to jump back in for this fall season, so we may just roll into spring. But dance, he's still been dancing. Obviously he's just not tumbling with his dance.
Yeah.
But so that's like been the recent adventure. It's been the other 4 bones have been his feet, so this is our first hand experience.
Yeah, you see him in all the reels using dancing, but still dancing with his hands. So
it kind of didn't really faze him that much, to be honest with you. Like he kind of actually did pretty well with it. Showering, this giant, they make these cool things now for casts, so make it much easier. But I mean, that's been the most recent thing. So
Yeah. Did he watch the World Series?
yes, of course he did. We are diehard San Francisco Giant fans, so Giants and the Dodgers, we really don't like each other. So
You're cheering for the Blue Jays.
we're cheering for the Blue Jays. However, unfortunately, the outcome was not in the Blue Jays' favor, but it was such an awesome series, regardless whichever team you were rooting for. I mean, it was just so entertaining. It was awesome. Baseball. I mean, I wish every baseball game was like that, and it's not, but
I know. Oh my gosh. And as a Blue Jay fan, I was nervous wreck. Like, I cannot watch when the Jays are pitching. I cannot watch. And I was like just pacing around.
Those fans in the last game, like they stood like the entire game. I just could not get over it. And I just felt so bad for them when they lost. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I saw a reel, again, I see a lot of reels on about Blue Jays and stuff, but there was a Blue Jay fan was at the Dodgers during game 3 or 4. And they were like, guys, look, nobody is standing. Like, us Blue Jay fans, we stand the whole time. We get excited. We get loud. And nobody is standing except for the Jays fans are like standing in the Dodgers. So it's just the way Torontonians are, Canadians are. We stand, we get excited, and the dome can get loud.
Yeah, that's what they kept saying. Like, so loud in there. But I thought it was just fun to watch. It was a cool series.
It was fun. Obviously, wish it was a different out, but it was a fun series.
Hard way to lose, that's for sure.
The 9th inning killed me. I was like, oh my gosh. Stephanie, any updates with Savannah?
Yeah. So I think when you and I last talked, we talked about the goal being to get both of the kiddos into a school that they would possibly thrive at. They both have different needs. Savannah does well academically for the most part. She struggles more with like the social part of anything, the school especially, and her being the age she's at and being in junior high, we weren't sure how that was gonna turn out. We did a move. So like we are closer to the new school, and the new school was recommended by another friend who happens to have children on the spectrum. So I looked into the school, and Savannah is in 7th grade there. They happen to have, it's a private school. They happen to have lower school, which is elementary, junior high, and high school. So I like that idea that they're all together. She is absolutely thriving. I mean, she's always done well in school wherever she's at. But to be completely honest with you, she has never once hesitated to let us know, like, she was unhappy at the old school. She would cry. She hated it. She'd constantly be like, I hate this school. I hate this school. And I just would have to tell her, like, just hang in there. I promise I'm going to do my best to find you something, like, I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to try to make it happen, and talk about like just a hope and a prayer that it would work out for both of them. And like, she's like super popular being in 7th grade. She's friends with 8th graders and 9th graders, and she's doing well socializing. She's got a boyfriend now, as of like a month now. She's reminded me, like, we've been together for a month now. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, being supportive. But he's seems to be a nice boy, and she shared something kind of cute with me. She was upset when I picked her up from school one day, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" You know, I always ask them how their day was and stuff. And she was like, "Well, Nathan and I were walking, and he had his hand stuck out, and I just looked over, like, he's got his hand stuck out, but I didn't really understand why, and it didn't click until I like walked away from him, and then I felt stupid because I realized he wanted to hold my hand, and I was like, it's okay, like, just text him and just say like, I'm sorry I missed your cue. Like, I realize now that you probably wanted to hold the hands, and I feel like a ding dong or whatever, you know." And of course, everything was fine. And then the next day, I'm like, so I like to joke with my kids to like make them feel better and stuff. So I was like, just kind of playing around with her to get her to cheer up. And then the next day, so I have her get in. I'm like, "Did you hold that hand?" And she's like, "Yep." And then she goes, "But," she was like, "I had to apologize because my hand was so sweaty. I was so embarrassed." And I'm just like, oh, this is so cute, but whatever. I guess she has seventh and eighth grade. Yeah, seventh and eighth hour with him. And it's kind of nice set up that way because before, even though she likes school, I'd constantly, occasionally get a text like, "Mom, can you sign me out early?" I don't get that text anymore. So I was like, phew. She's doing great though. Yeah.
It's so good to hear, because when I interviewed her in July, she wasn't sure if she even wanted to go to this school. She's like, "I'll be homeschooled." And it was like, I'm so glad that she.
Yeah. So we kind of went back and forth with that because she was still like, she just was like, it's so hard to believe that we're going to find something that's going to work for me. That was kind of her mindset. And then she was kind of testing me on like, well, can we do online school? Because, you know, she's one of the pandemic kids that lived through that. And I'm like, I would prefer you not. Like, would like you to go to school with kids your age and stuff. And, you know, she even told me like she's won an award since being there. She's gotten like constant recognition from teachers, like emailing, praising, like, "Oh, Savannah's amazing." And, you know, like I've gotten texts from, the way it works is we share parent information between the students. And then if like one student wants to hang out with another student, then that parent will contact. So like I've already got hit up by a couple parents like, "Hey, like I'm so-and-so's mom. Nice to meet you. Is Savannah available for like a play date?" So it's like she's gone on like a junior high play date at one of her friends' house and met up with another friend there, and taken their school did two overnights field trip to Payson at Whispering Hope Ranch. And it was cool. She got to go with all her girlfriends, and they got the same cabin, and then the boys were on their side. And she was like, "I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually like school. I never thought in a million years I would ever have those words coming out of my mouth." And I'm just like beaming like, ah. So it's been good for her. And yeah.
I'm so happy about that, because Savannah is like the sweetest girl. And, you know, I know she had trouble at her old school, and it just broke my heart to hear her being sad. And I know she's you know, she's a social butterfly. Like, she does well with being around other people. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah. And John, I don't know if you want to know about him too, or.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So he likes the school better too, because the school being a private school, the student to teacher ratio is way more manageable, like maybe 6 to 9 kids in a class per teacher, and they've got 7 hours. So he's already kind of like, even though he's in 4th grade, he's got like the changing of classes 7 times in a day, which I thought would be overwhelming for him, but he's doing excellent. Like he's doing 7th grade reading and like 7th grade math. I mean, he struggles with handwriting because he's got dysgraphia. I think the saddest part, or most challenging part for him has been that he is so high functioning. And the part that he's extremely gifted in is the verbal comprehension. And the best way to explain that is he's able to like capture and grasp all these like complex vocabulary words that are beyond his age level. And he can understand and process what they mean and store them away. And then he'll bring them out in conversation. And kids his age are like, what are you talking about? Microbiome, immunology, what? Like, you know what I mean? So it's been hard for him to make friends. He said he's made like 2 friends. And I've kind of like tried to ask, like, well, what are they into? And he's like, I don't know. And like, John's a talker. So John will talk to anyone and everyone that will listen. And it's going to be about Zelda, most likely, and or science or immunology. I'm like, wow, like, oh, my heart breaks for him because he's just like on a whole another level. And he said it feels lonely. Like he's happy at the school, but it feels lonely because he still feels misunderstood, you know?
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm glad that he's finding people, so that's good.
yeah. And the teachers are being way more patient with him rather than just, you know, chalking him up to being like a behavioral problem child. Like we just recently found out his ADHD medicine was, I guess it's known for making kids angry and like agitated. And so he was having these emotional outbursts and stuff, being on that along with his anxiety medicine. And we got a new doctor, and she was like, well, why don't we take him off of it and see how he does? And the very next day, I got 2 emails from teachers that were like, John had an amazing day. He was in the most like amazing mood. And he said that the doctor made a change and like he's happy now. So I was like, well, I hope that sticks. And I hope he doesn't hate the world after tomorrow with the whole braces thing.
Yeah. Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
so
Oh, I'm
yeah,
wishing him luck with his braces. That is
me too.
hard.
He's my sensitive guy.
Yeah. We might have to get braces for Henry. So he's getting 2 teeth pulled. He's got some shark teeth that are coming in up here. So he's gonna get them pulled on December 1st, and then they're gonna see how the crowding goes, and he might not have to, but that
Well,
would
I
not
did
be.
find out through this whole thing, I did find out like, well, we have to schedule surgery because he does have to have another impacted tooth removed. So he'll be put completely under for that. But I did find out after talking to someone that has experience in orthodontics and, you know, kids on the spectrum and stuff, is that you can call, and there are some orthodontist offices that you can ask them like if they offer sedation or like, do you offer anything special for kids on the spectrum or whatever. That way you'll know like if he's got to get something done, that you don't think he would handle, or anyone, that you can call in advance and ask like if they do offer anything, or if you know of like another orthodontist office that would be able to meet whatever needs. Luckily we didn't have to go that route and John did good, but I know some kids might
Yeah.
not. So
We'll have to see. Gina, can you tell us about the Savannah bananas? I cannot
Yes.
wait to hear about that.
So Brennan, like that's like right now, that's what he currently wants to be in his, you know, in his life. That's what his goal is. Because for him, he goes, it has baseball, acting, dancing, gymnastics. It's got everything he loves in one career. So we have some very close special friends, where his with since he was little at dance. Her dad used to play for the Chicago White Sox, and the Savannah Bananas were coming to the White Sox stadium, and they always bring in like a guest, like a player that's been like a retired player in as like a surprise person. So her dad got asked to be the surprise person. So they, of course, know Brendan's love for Savannah Bananas, and so they were like, we have to take you guys with us. So we kept it a surprise. So he thought we were going to Chicago just because Amelia's dad was getting some kind of like award, and he like really didn't ask any questions. The only time he started asking questions was we were like kind of going there like that day of. He was like, huh, that's weird. Like, are we going to the stadium? Because the White Sox are like, they were at a different stadium.
Yeah.
I don't really know where we're going. And I was like, because I knew that he would start looking up things, and
Yeah.
he kind of started asking like a lot of questions, but I was like, no, we're getting to go because he's winning an award. And so the day we got into Chicago, the game was the following day, but that night, we all went to dinner, and his friend Amelia was like, Brendan, you know how I told you that my dad is here for an award? Well, which was funny because a little bit before that, he's like, Mom, guess who's at the White Sox stadium? It's the Savannah Bananas. And I was like, no way. And he's like, oh my gosh, do we know what time the event is tomorrow? And I was like, no, but like, you know, you can't just go get Savannah Banana tickets. So he had kind of like started fishing a little bit for it. And it was like killing me. It was so hard to keep it a secret. Like I hid his jersey that I brought for him. Like I hid it, like wrapped in something because like we were like sharing a suitcase. So I didn't want him to see it. But so when we were sitting at dinner, Emily goes, Brendan, you know how we told you we were here for my dad's award? Well, we're not. We're here because my dad's in the Savannah Bananas game and we're going. And he just was like, wait, what? Like I get to go? And we were like, not only do you get to go, but you get to go and you get to meet the players. You get to go on the field before, like you get to get the whole VIP experience. I mean, he just like I don't think he slept really that night because he was so, I mean, but Jill, he's a kid that asks a lot of questions. Like he exhausts me a lot because it's just, he asks question after question. So you have to be ready when you know he's coming because he's coming for the questions. So I was ready. I asked most of the questions, but I didn't really know exactly what was going to happen. But yeah, so we got to go. I mean, we literally got there early before the, game started. We got to go down into the locker room, down into the dugout. They do like a fan meet and greet for certain fans. I don't know if they buy tickets for it. I'm not sure, but so we got to meet all of his favorite players. And then he actually got to watch the whole game pretty much, except for like one or two innings in the dugout where he sat and watched the whole game.
Oh my gosh.
They have like VIP suite and stuff for us, so we were in the suite for a little bit, but it was actually raining most of the time, so it was quite nice for me because I had to the rain. But I'm not kidding you, there was like an hour rain delay and it was pouring, and every single one of these fans, they all stayed through the rain delay, stayed through the whole thing. But I mean, we left there and he was like, so you know how I told you I wanted to be a Savannah Banana? I'm like, yeah. He goes, now I know I 100% want to be one. So that like secured his mind of being like, yep, this is what I want to be,
Oh my gosh.
So
like when I first saw the Savannah Bananas, I was like, this is Brendan. Like this would be perfect for him because it's baseball and dancing and like acting. It's like all of his favorites.
All of his favorite things like in one thing. Like it's like, I mean, it's everything. It's like the job that's made for him. I'm always like, oh, this is a job for him. I'm so glad this is. And it's just funny because you still talk to people that don't know who the Savannah Bananas are. And I look at them like, are you like living under a rock? Like, how do you not know? But I've had some people that don't know what the Savannah Bananas are, So yeah, it was once in a lifetime experience, and it will be something that he'll always remember. It was super cool for me just to even watch him. I mean, I was like, this is awesome, but he just was over the moon.
Yeah. So. I'll share, it's on Brendan's YouTube channel, his whole experience. So I will post in the comments all of the in the description. I will post Brendan's channel and like where you can see all his videos. For people that don't know, Brendan is an actor and dancer, and it's Brendan's life is his all of his social media. So and he's got a lot. I mean, he gets seen all the time. Like people recognize him everywhere he goes, right?
Yeah, they do. I mean, they recognize him through Darman, but they also recognize him just through like social media too. I mean, he just hit 600,000 followers on TikTok. It's got like 540 something thousand on Instagram. I think he just got to like 81 or 82,000 on YouTube. So yeah, like he's likes to stay busy through that. He just got like his first big, like, not like a brand deal, but this company like reached out. It's these new, like, it's like an e-bike, but then you can also use it as a like a regular bike, but then it's made for like tricks and stuff. It's a pretty huge,
that's cool,
cost-wise of a, which for him, for me, I'm like, oh great, here we go, just because we need something else dangerous in our life, but sure. So we actually put it together last night, and he was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And our neighbors are like, wait, how did Brendan get that? I'm like, they just sent it to him. They wanted to do 3 reels. And I was like, you know, like, I guess
with his hand in the cast.
right, like when they reached out, I was like, so he's got a cast on, so we won't be able to like do tricks until we're out of a cast. But cast and all, I mean, he, with his thing, he was like, I'm writing this, like, this is so cool. So that he, so I got this because of my social media, because he still like doesn't fully understand, because I run it. I go on and show it with him, but like he doesn't have a phone. He has an iPad, but he doesn't have access to any of the social media. So he only can be on it with me.
Yeah.
Is how I monitor it for him. So it's just way too dangerous of a world for a 13-year-old in his situation to be able to have like the freedom of just, he's just not ready for that. Because
no,
I am not ready for a lot of the things that I actually have to weed out, block, all sorts of things on a daily basis, because people are just terrible.
They are.
So yeah, he's, you always ask, when am I going to get a phone? And you don't really need one right now. You have an iPad, you can communicate with me with that, but
yeah,
I am going to hold off as long as possible. Like,
I don't.
only because I've seen what I know what he would be faced with, and there's just no way. He's still got such an innocent heart that it's like, I'm gonna hold that on for as long as I can.
Yeah, you show him like some of the good, like,
oh yeah, we look at
stuff,
together all the time. Like I always show him things, and we look at things together, and we'll scroll through. We look at other people's and stuff, but it's just something I don't let him just take my phone and go by himself. He can't do that. Like we have to do it together. So
that's good. Yeah, because there are some not nice people.
Nope.
For sure. We've gotten some not nice comments on here, so I understand. I'm trying to think. I think that's, I think this is good. This is a great introduction to everyone, and we'll do, I'd like to start doing topics twice a month. And so when people ask if there's any topics that you guys want to do, let me know too. But I will for sure do a girl one. So Stephanie, we can chat about that. And probably diagnosis and like early signs. Because Gina, I'm sure people still ask you about how you knew at 13 months that he was autistic. Even earlier that you knew at like 10 months.
Yeah, so, I mean, people, they see him now and they just can't understand, like, if they don't go back through his history, like they wouldn't know. And I shouldn't say I don't advertise it as much anymore, but I mean, it was like something I had like in his Instagram bio, and he was like, do I have to have that on there? And I was like, no. So I took that part down, but it's still always in his, it's around, it's in his YouTube, it's all around, and he's still very open about it, but he's getting at that age where, I just think that, and he doesn't really have those obvious signs of.
Yeah.
So when I tell people that he was on the spectrum, they look at me like I'm crazy, but I mean, we're dealing with, social stuff where like he cannot, I don't know, a speech therapist is finally working on it with him because she works with him a lot of like just how to have a conversation because or like if he had to tell you the Savannah banana story, it would have been pretty choppy if it wasn't like fully planned out in his head first. So like he has a hard time sometimes organizing a story, but right now we're having just a hard time with introducing ourselves and giving our name. Like, and I will tell him all the time and like, hey, remember to introduce yourself. Like I will introduce myself, my name, Brian will introduce himself and I'll go, hi. And I'm like, we just talked about this. Or like, we are really struggling with like, it is not natural for him to be like, hi, my name is Brian or Brendan. Like it's that we're like struggling with that part. And I was like, you're getting to the age where people are going to think you're rude. Like, cause if they don't know who, like that you're on the spectrum or you've had any social things, they're not going to know that. And like, I'm trying to raise a polite kid and he's very polite in any other way, and he does it he's not doing it to be rude. He's just doing it because to him, he's like, hey. I'm like, yeah, we can't just go, hey. They don't know your name. They don't know who you are, But I've always been like, oh, this is Brendan. So like, it's like more of like we're weaning off of like where I'm talking for him essentially, where I'm like, they're asking you the question. They're not asking me. They're asking you. And they'll look, yeah, no, this is you. So we're working on a lot of those just things that sometimes are just natural for kids. It just does not come natural for him. You give him a script and tell him exactly what to read and say. He's got it.
He can memorize that.
He can memorize a script and a dance in 2 seconds, but don't give him a script and he's like, what am I supposed to do? So
it's those social cues like Savannah has trouble with the social cues. So it's like teaching our kids how to interact and be around others and stuff like that. So it's hard and people don't understand that they just don't get it. They need to be taught and they need to go over it over and over again to get it.
Yeah, they're working with John on similar stuff to introducing himself because as a lot of people that know him, he'll just go off the rails with like the most random stuff. And so like I know OT and speech, they're working with him on like how to have a conversation, the back and forth. And like I challenged him last week. I said, I want you to kind of put yourself out there and greet the teacher and say, hi, Miss Acosta or whatever. How was your weekend? Or, how are you today? And he was like, ooh, I don't know if I could do that. And I was like, sure you can, like I said, I'll challenge you to choose 2 teachers. And so he was just like, I was like, and if you do it and you do a great job, you'll just become that more confident and there might be a Robux card waiting for you. We'll see how it goes. And he did it. And he told me, he was like, I said, how did it go? He said, it went better than I thought. I didn't think it was going to go that good, but it went good. And they said the same thing, that they were good. And how are you, John? And I said, and what did you say? And he said, I said, good. I didn't know what else to say. Okay, we're getting started somewhere. So
yeah, it's good.
Again, we're trying to teach Henry that on his device, like the back and forth conversations, and he just does one thing stuff. He can talk in full sentences, but the back and forth conversation is always like, what do you like? This, one word stuff. And I think that's like that with a lot of the kids. So
like mine can talk and I sometimes get that. So
yeah. I know. All right. Thank you, ladies. This was great. And again, we'll start for people that are watching. We're going to start doing them in December. We'll start doing twice a month topics, doing them live here on YouTube. And I think that would be great. So if you're watching this and have any ideas of what you want to know, if you've seen one of these moms and want to know more about the child, let us know. Yeah, it's hard for me because I have Henry every day, so I can show Henry a lot. So I'm going through all of the footage from our July stuff. So I'll start posting more of the kids from their updates. But I like this because then we can have conversations and stuff. So thank you all for being here. And I'm through the month of November, I'm going to be doing lives with, because it's caregiver month, I'll be doing lives with companies and nonprofits that take care of the caregivers. So stay tuned for more of those. And we will see you guys later. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.